Gold, platinum and silver, the three core precious metals, the ones we all know and love. Gold is on top. Gold is worth more than platinum, which doesn't make a great deal of sense to my brain, platinum being the one that should be the most expensive. But it does represent an interesting investment opportunity, and that's why I have bought more platinum. I've gone from 2 to 5 ounces, and in today's video I aim to talk about why I have expanded my position and some of the reasons why I think platinum has got an awful lot of potential going into the future. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for a thought-provoking discussion about precious metals. But this week we are going to be focusing on the other white metal, platinum. It is a fascinating material with some incredibly unique and interesting properties. It is also a very interesting investment vehicle in my opinion, and a lot of the interesting things about platinum have fed into my decision to increase my position within platinum from 2 ounces of physical up to 5 ounces of physical. So quite the increase in the amount that I am hedging, I guess, against other metals. That's one of the things that you can do with platinum. You can use it as a hedge against other metals. You can potentially play the ratios between it and gold, which very much are backwards in my mind right now. Platinum used to be more expensive than gold. We'll get to that as we go throughout the video. But it is most certainly an interesting but also risky investment option to go for platinum. So I do want to address a whole myriad of these thoughts and ways of thinking and sort of attitudes which I have towards platinum in today's video. I'd love to know your opinions, so please feel free to comment down below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you would like to see videos like this in the future. Chances are if you enjoy this video, you'll enjoy some of the others that we make as well. So platinum, let's just first of all talk about some of the interesting properties about this other white metal, which throughout history has been used by various different cultures, but perhaps sometimes without their knowing. It was, covered in trace elements in gold, because a lot of the time platinum is a byproduct of other materials being mined. And really interesting facts, gold, of course, much easier to work with, a lower melting point, and of course it's just got that kind of gleam to it. It's a lot more common gold as well. So platinum, whilst yes, it was found in ancient times, it was very much seen as this nuisance metal because the ore that it would come in, if you tried to refine it, it was almost really very hard to refine because of its ridiculously high melting point relative to gold and silver. So oftentimes these giant lumps of platinum ore or expensive lumps of platinum are found in discard piles from ancient cultures because they just couldn't either work it, or they just thought it was, they just thought it was fool's gold. If you were trying to work it, it was a foolish thing to do. So really interesting from that point of view. Another couple of interesting facts about platinum is that it is 10 times rarer than gold, and that for me is one of the biggest factors that I look at to say, really, should platinum be, close to half the price of gold? It's not quite half the price, but should it really be that low right now? Or really, should platinum be more expensive than gold? Traditionally, platinum, of course, was more expensive than gold. There's a reason why a platinum album was higher than a gold album, and why platinum level memberships are higher than gold. Yet, right now, gold is on top of platinum when it comes to those kind of things. So platinum is sort of 10 times, approximately anyway, 10 times rarer than gold. But one of the most interesting things about this is that almost 80% of the world's platinum production comes from South Africa. There's a little bit more from Russia and then South America and North America as well, but the vast majority, over 80%, comes from South Africa, and it's becoming an awful lot harder to actually mine. And to put it in perspective, you are getting 10, 11, 12 tons of material just to get 1 ounce, 31 grams of this precious metal. So it is incredibly labor intensive. It is incredibly expensive to mine. We have got to a point where the vast majority of the easy to access platinum has been reached already, which makes, in my mind, again, it should be worth more. It should be high up on that value list because it is hard to come by. The supply is low. The demand, that is where we sort of suffer from. And the demand side of things is, I think, the most important thing to talk about, because that is ultimately what fuels prices. And platinum, generally speaking, is predominantly used in industry. It is not used, it's used in jewelry a lot. In fact, the very first piece of platinum I ever got was my wedding ring. And again, that's, tantamount to how, cultures around the world kind of feel about platinum. For us, when we were looking at wedding rings, do you get a gold wedding ring? Do you get white gold or platinum? And for us, we wanted platinum because it was seen as that sort of high up level metal. It was the top metal, basically. Shudders to think back how much I paid for my wedding ring compared to its metal content, but we'll get past that and we'll move on. That's something different, isn't it? A wedding ring is for life, not like an investment coin. But my point is that the vast majority of platinum is an industrial metal, but it is in an industry which has seen huge declines over this last 5 to 10 years. Of course, catalytic converters within diesel cars is where I am talking, and the replacement of platinum with things like palladium, that has fueled exponential growth for palladium, but of course has reduced the demand for platinum. That said, there are some absolutely incredible properties of platinum which make it something that really could be used in other industries very easily. The problem is, I guess, that it is an expensive metal, but compared with things like palladium, perhaps one day palladium use within automobiles might change back to platinum just because of the sheer price of the palladium relative to the platinum. Who knows? But the fact that it is so durable, it is one of the the core periodic table metals which have this sort of incredible low reactivity level. It just does not tarnish. It does not react with pretty much anything. It is malleable. It can be formed into wires. It can be formed into sheets. It is absolutely one of the most incredible propertied metals out there. It is incredibly dense as well. It is denser than gold, and in fact I've got here a silver and gold coin which I wanted to grab and show you just quite how dense things are. And before anybody moans about handling these with bare hands, they're my coins. I'm doing it carefully just by holding the rim of the coins. It's really not the end of the world to get a little bit of fingerprints on some of these coins. But here is, I think, the most interesting ratio that you can see of the densities. It's bad light here today. There we go. So you can see there the absolute difference in thickness densities of platinum relative to gold. And then of course silver has this just giant diameter compared with the gold and the silver. 1 ounce of both there. Really, all three. Really interesting properties. So it is an incredibly dense and incredibly hard wearing and durable metal with a significant amount of industrial properties as well. So there's a great deal of really interesting things in platinum's favor, which could yield a big spike up in its prices at some point in the future. Now, one of the most interesting things that I've been tracking over this last year and a bit is the gold to platinum ratio. Now, we saw, of course, in March last year, a huge drop in all metals, with the exception of gold. Gold had a much lower reduction in its value at that time last year when the brown stuff hit the fan with the first wave of lockdowns. So there are, of course, going to be many more risk factors to involving yourself with platinum relative to gold. Gold will, of course, be a lot more stable, have a lot less volatility, but there is most certainly this really interesting recovery that's happened with platinum since then. And platinum has gone from its low last year of about £500 an ounce up to the price now of about £820, £830 an ounce. So really significant growth in its, just in itself there relative to gold. And that's one of the other reasons why I look to purchase this over perhaps silver as a hedge against gold. Playing the platinum to gold ratio, I think, is, in my mind, it makes a little bit more sense, I feel. Of course, you don't have to have thousands of ounces of silver to, make a decent return on these. I mean, you don't have hundreds of ounces of silver to do the same thing. You can just have an ounce of platinum, an ounce of gold, 2 coins done. You can use that to play the ratio if you want. So there's an awful lot in its favor in that regard, and I do think it has got some potential going forwards. Now, we've talked a lot about the potential, of the properties which help it as well, which have all fed into my kind of purchase decision there. But I do want to also talk about its downsides, its risks, and its popularity. So there are issues around platinum and investing in platinum which are unavoidable. One of those is the taxes involved with its purchase here in the United Kingdom, and in fact the rest of Europe as well. It is heavily taxed. Can kind of understand why that is. It's an industrial metal like silver, so in the United Kingdom, VAT is applied to it as a point of sale when you buy it from a bullion company. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I very much have kept an eye out recently on the silver forum for ounces of platinum that have come up at decent prices without obviously the VAT, because they're second-hand pieces. And I have very much picked up these, you know, willingly at 20% over the spot price, if not a little bit more, for these White Lions Mortimer, having a little bit of a premium with them being the Queen's Beast series. So very much it's a type of investment that I will be looking to hold for a significant amount of time. I won't be, you know, sitting here with it waiting to flip it when the price goes up, because I feel like the second-hand market for it is not going to appreciate the fact that VAT is applied. So it's very much like you have to kind of sell it pretty much at the 20% premium on the second-hand market. I've seen platinum up on the silver forum for sale at, you know, 30%, 40% premiums, just not sell. And for me, I would look at it and go, that's too much of a premium for that high coin. But I kind of feel like with silver as well, because, you know, at the moment, for the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, we've been buying silver at 15 to 20% over spot here in the UK. I've still been happy to do that with the idea of holding it for a significant amount of time, waiting for the opportune moment. And that is fine for me to do. I've budgeted that. That is what we plan to do with these platinums for that long period of time. So I'm not worried about that, but it is most certainly a factor for a lot of people to bear in mind going forwards. Look at these two together, platinum versus gold. The old age question, and that ultimately is what it boils down to for me. I think that platinum does have some potential against gold, and I think it does have the potential to potentially overtake gold in its price. It used to have a higher price than gold. Of course, the past is no guarantee of the future, and that's definitely something to factor in. Ooh, one other thing that I haven't talked about, it's 9995 platinum rather than 49s platinum. So platinum is a very, very hard metal to actually work, which is one of the reasons why it's got such a high premium to it. And I was explaining this to a friend of mine the other day. He was asking why silver and platinum coins have high premiums just over spot price, even if you look to buy just the cheaper silver that you can, and you often, excluding VAT, you have to pay a premium. It's because of the manufacturing costs that often go into making coins. Of course, you've got the mining costs of bringing it out of the ground. That's exceptionally hard for platinum as well. But in terms of like gold, it's so liquid, it's so easy to make, it's so easy to manufacture, and of course its value relative to one coin is low, so you just basically, you know, do a small run, production isn't quite as much. With silver, you are doing things a lot more, there's a lot more sort of effort that needs to be made, and platinum especially so, with its refining as well to the higher purity levels, 9995 platinum. So the kind of premium that goes on top of platinum is understandable, and I sort of don't begrudge it. Would I like to buy platinum at spot price? Yeah, that would be lovely. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world if I don't. Now, here is, I think, the most telling and interesting part of this discussion. So already, platinum is doing a lot better and also worse than, you know, it had been in the past. I bought my first piece of platinum back in 2017, pretty much with the same reasoning that I had right now. I paid £839.30 for this particular one. I think spot price for platinum at the time was approximately 20% less, buying from Europe, as you can see, goldsilver.be. And it was, you know, held as a long-term investment. Now, in premiums aside, for the fact that it's a Queen's Beast Lion, you know, you're looking right now at this one, I could probably sell this quite happily on places like the Silver Forum, or even back to a dealer for a decent return. But you look at this one, 2 years later, bought for £692. Platinum is an incredibly volatile metal. It goes up and down massively. This one, of course, is now sitting on a really happy, healthy profit. If we were to sell this even on the second-hand market, or even to a dealer for £800, that is a good return on an ounce of platinum. So there is most certainly a high potential for all of these coins. But what I think is most interesting is, you know, back 2019, bought these for £692. 2017, bought this for £839. If you extrapolate that out to gold at the same period of time for both of these purchases, you know, gold would have been, I think back here, like £950 an ounce. Back here, it probably would have been about, I don't know, £1,100 an ounce. So some significant differences in the ratio there have been exemplified, which is, I guess, part of my reasoning for buying more platinum. So Lots of factors at play for me, and I do think that it is a high risk investment, but I do think in the long run, I am hopeful that it will pay out. We will see. I will keep you guys informed with that. I don't feel like I'm going to be expanding my position further into platinum now. I think the 5 ounces of platinum that I have is more than enough to hedge against gold and its ratio with gold. You'll notice as well I've gone for all capital gains tax exempt platinum coins because I do feel like perhaps there is a potential for these to really earn a significant return. You know, if we see a reversal of gold being worth more than, platinum being worth more than gold, and we see platinum going to £1,600 an ounce or something, you know, these coins could make £1,000 each. That's an awful lot, and whilst not going to maybe make a factor into a capital gains year, it's most certainly something to think about, because if gold went up as well, you know, there's lots to think about when it comes to capital gains. It's not the end of the world, but it is most certainly a thing. So yeah, I hope you guys have gleaned some interesting information about platinum, about my thinking behind platinum and my reasonings for expanding my position on it. I think that it's got some potential. Love to know your opinions though. That is one of the reasons why I make these styles of videos, to get a collection of thoughts and opinions down in that comment section. I know that myself and a lot of other people get a lot of value from reading those comments of established or even new investors. So please comment down below and I'll engage with you in a fun, healthy discussion. That's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, put a thumbs up. Let me know which of these different designs of platinum you like best and whether you just go for gold. I mean, gold is gold. I think the interesting thing about platinum, and I will say this, is that it's unattractive relative to gold. There is just something incredible about the color of gold. Platinum very much looks like a kind of slightly darker version of silver. Gold is where the color and the joy really is. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. So really interesting stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Otherwise, have a fantastic week ahead. Thank you one and all for watching. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.